Previously on...
Is Ezran the prince? Millions of dead is a bitch.
Welcome back, ghouls, gays, bays, and mermaids. We are back with part 2 of week 1 of Summerween.
I can't hear it.
Gonna continue the reading log, and then we're gonna do our final thoughts at the end. So stay tuned.
Guys, I can't. Oh my god. I can't. It's so frustrating because Corin wants, or seems to, the only thing she seems to want is to be able to communicate or have real conversations on her own time when she's comfortable. You know, that resolves nothing. If you're not willing to get uncomfortable to move towards your actual goals, then nothing's ever gonna change. Corin's pissing me off. And then, like, even in this moment, right, when they finally meet Amelia, or who now goes by Briar Rose, even in this moment when she should be asking questions or something, all she can focus on is herself. Like, is it the lack of belief? She's like, so is she forcibly not wanting to believe anything but what she can physically put her hands on? Does that make sense? Like, is she
an idiot sandwich?
I don't know. This statement right here, Corin didn't understand how anyone could behave like this was normal, like this was real. She's acting, in the statement below that, Corin did not have the tolerance for feigned pleasantries. Even in these moments where you know something is happening, you should be asking more questions. You choose not to. You choose to bite your tongue and act like and act like you're the one who's in the right, I guess, is the way I'm like reading, is the way I'm understanding her character so far. Everything she's done up to a certain point, she justifies doing it for her sister, but then after she's found her sister, all she can think about now is me. Like, my misery, my pain. I don't want to communicate, I just want to be angry all the time. And I understand that. But at some point, Corin, you gotta stand up. Okay, so I just closed the final page of this book, and I think it was intense. It was emotional. I think it was well done character study of trauma, isolation, and what it takes to heal. It was a well done fairy tale reimagining. It was intense. It was emotional. It was an exhausting journey following these characters as they go through trauma, isolation, exhaustion, and one's loneliness, and what it actually takes to heal from that. So, right from the start, and I'm gonna read from my notes because I have quite a lot to say. I think I can relate so much to Amelia in that aspect as well. Because it is easier to pretend like nothing
exists. Nothing bad exists. It's easier, you know? We gotta talk about Ezran. Trash. Absolute trash. Trash. Siddiqui? Trash. Trash. 10 tones down. Your mama probably never wanted you to be born. Trash.
This nigga is trash.
And I said what I said. Yes. It's the visual rage that filled me watching him play this like smooth romantic lead while knowing like who he truly is. And I think the way Cindy wrote his character, because it's supposed to make you uncomfortable, right? He provides this interesting tension-building contrast to the deeper tragic elements of the lore. Like, we're left with constantly questioning the character's motives, wondering if these acts of malice are driven by pure evil or a deeply buried tragic hope for something more, you know? The climax, I named it More Than Surviving. I think the absolute turning point of the entire narrative in the moment the waterworks comes down to like a single moment where she quotes, "I need to know if there's more than surviving the hurt." Up until this very moment, every character had just been white knuckling their way through like every fucking like so up until this very point, every character had just been like bop bop bop. Through their entire existence, they have been surviving the day, enduring the pain, and hiding behind walls. That part got me. It's like they have been surviving, doing nothing but surviving and enduring the pain. So what's beyond that point? What happens after? Like, does life still continue? Do flowers still bloom even after I go to sleep? It's like it's no longer about just enduring trauma. It's about actively fighting for a life that's actually worth living, even if you don't find any meaning in it in that very moment, you know? The ending, I do have to say, does leave me kind of torn. I'm kind of conflicted because Corin sacrifices herself, but she wakes up the very next chapter as if all of it was a dream, as if everything she had ever experienced throughout this entire book were just wisps of dreams or something like that. Like, the entire book fights so hard to show that we have to live with our choices, both the good and the bad. So erasing that feeling feels kind of complicated to me, especially like when you look closer, you realize that like the profound, heartbreaking unselfishness of Amelia's choice. She doesn't fix the world to make her own life easier at the very end. She chooses to carry the permanent residue of that grief. I think one thing I can't say for sure, I think, is that these characters, in a way, prove that no matter how long you've been trapped in a single cycle of grief, there's a whole universe out there waiting for you. And the second you choose to look past your own walls, I think is what the messages that I got from this. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. This was one for the books, guys. This was one for the books, for sure. I leave you with one last quote. I don't know where I'll go. Perhaps that's the thrilling part. It's a big world, and we only live in one of them. Cheers.